Welcome, Men of War Assault Squad 2. Today we're doing a nation focus and we're doing the Japanese nation. I'm going to go ahead and put it on pause just for a second, just to introduce the team a little bit for you. It's a 2v2 on Bacage, and it's myself, Zip99 on the Japanese team versus Opinionated Onion and a guy named Luna Yielder. Opinionated Onion definitely has a lot of games under his belt, so it actually turns out to be a pretty good game. We are paired up with new teammates on both sides, so I think as far as balance is concerned, it's about as balanced as you can get with randoms joining your team. We're going to go through some of the hero tech tree with Japan, and then also go ahead and talk about some of the units that I think are your best bet with them. Let's go ahead and get it started though. No point in keeping it on pause. We're going to go ahead and uncheck Fog of War. I went ahead and went with the Assault Squad. Japan has the Type 100 SMGs. Really good weapon. They were actually, the Assault Squad price actually went up recently though. It went up from 100 to 110. So it actually nerfed Japan a little bit in that regard. The reason why they were so good before is because of the MP was less. As always, playing with a new guy, I'm going to go ahead and chat initially when I start the game, hey, help the middle. That way we can go ahead and get the superior forces in the main, middle of the map. That way you can flank out either way. Unfortunately, I'm getting double teamed. And if you peer over to my teammate, he bought a SMG and a machine gunner for some odd reason. Don't do that. Buy a squad. Even if you're going to go with elite marksman, you can do that. Assault or regular. Yeah, whatever he did, don't do that. Bike, Jeep, I don't know, something. So I'm just getting just getting outshot in the middle, really. They've got guys over here. They've got guys over here. And they've got the machine gunner in here. I'd like to put him in that window, so maybe an Onion will do that. At this time, I bought another Assault Squad. And I'm trying to ping my teammate and just being like, dude, you're not helping at all. And he claimed he was coming to help. So I guess this is what he's sending in to help, a rifleman. So I know at this point I've got my work cut out for me. The great thing with Japan is, from an early standpoint, definitely it's a pressured faction. So what you really want to do is get this Hago as soon as you can. The reason why it's only 160 and you get a tank. So not only do they have good assault infantry, but you can easily go a nice tank early on to really get the leg up. To compare that with like a half track is like 150 guys. So definitely a way to go there. I'm just getting ate up though. My guys are just dying left and right. I went ahead and filled it with a recruit squad. Thankfully, this guy finally brought some troops. And my original thought was, hey, I was going to flank. I saw the bag, though. So I decided to actually come down this way. And I've got just a recruit squad, so I know this is not going to turn out too well. I realize all these guys are here. Go ahead and prone as soon as possible. Followed up with another assault squad. Got a few grenades off, too. Oh, looks like Opinionated Onion done a great flank here on his own right, though. He actually came down this way and is now taking my teammate's flag. So, unfortunately, it's not looking too good. Meanwhile, I'm sneaking guys on the left side because it looks like I'm going against the newer player on this side. I mean, look how many guys I have at my point. 1, 2... I guess I did reinforce with another squad. Hero points. So your first hero's out about 3 minutes in. You could go with kamikazes. Definitely a good buy if you're gonna go with a bigger map, maybe a little bit more team game where you don't need to pressure as much, and it's really gonna give you that stealth aspect. You can go AT rifle. I see people do this, and actually I've been growing on it. I've been growing on the AT rifle squad lately. Just because it comes with 2 AT rifle grenades, and they will take out pretty much any light vehicle. Plus, it's going to give you, I think, about 4 to 5 riflemen as well. But in this case, I went with the flame tank, the SSD, and the reason why is I knew my opponent wasn't banking for anything based on the amount of infantry I saw. And I knew a new player just doesn't know how to deal with a tank like this. In this case, I was somewhat right, but somewhat wrong, because he was able to afford a steward. And I think my thought was I forgot that I had spent so much on infantry while this guy didn't do anything. Oh. All the while I was trying to sneak guys here. and so I failed there. Yeah, I should have cooked that better, and I didn't cook it at all. So I failed there. I was able to decap his point. We also have a squad there. My teammate buys a Ho-I. That is a no-go. Do not buy that. That is a self-propelled gun. Take a look at the stats. Does have decent armor, but it's a 75mm self-propelled gun. So it's basically an artillery piece. So it's not a gun you want to go frontally with against another tank. What you want to do is, in that case, you'd want to maybe keep it back around here. Maybe even put it down in this river here. I think he bought that and didn't know what it was. So I am assaulting the middle as well. And I'm following up with the Hago. So like I said, the Hago you can go pretty early. Oh, guys, I must have missed that. Somehow I did destroy that, unfortunately. I must have missed that one. That's okay. I know at this time my Hago can because I was able to take that steward out, I know my Hago can just wrap up on the infantry here. And I just followed up with the recruits as well. Just give me line of vision or line of sight. They don't need to kill anything. They just need to provide line of sight for this, and they're a pretty cheap unit to do that. Plus, some of his guys are even out of ammo here, so. Boom. Oof. Oh, they're just getting shredded here. This thing's just going, look at this, the kill feed, guys. This thing's just going to town right here. Spread my guys out, make sure I have vision. I see here I can flank. Hit the stone. I don't know what I hit there. He's hitting stone, I'm hitting stone. I realize this, I'm not going to win this one. Not with against that steward there, so I'm going to back out of here. I saved my teammate from getting just wiped out there, though, and unfortunately he brought this Ho-I up thinking it was an actual tank, when in reality it's actually a self-propelled unit. I went ahead and brought more infantry as well. I guess a lot of new players don't think Japan's any good, and I don't blame them. The reason why is these units aren't very familiar with people. Half these units are also made up, like Chinu, Cheetos, some of these bigger tanks. The Japanese army didn't actually field these. But I guess back to my point is they're just lettered, and so they can be really confusing. Like a Type 92 versus, you know, Type 97. Well, one's one's a Jeep and one's a mortar. So I guess the part of it is they just don't know what units to buy. Whereas if you play maybe like American faction, you don't really have to know the game much, but at least you know what a Sherman is. You know, you may know what a Sherman 76, you know, etc., etc. You play UK faction, you may know what like a Churchill is, stuff like that. So I think that's part of the reason. They also play a lot different. They are much more of a rush nation. You have to get the early game. You have to be ahead at all times. And what I mean by that is you have to force your opponents to overbuy to counter you. Does that make sense? So this tank is 160 MP. This tank right here is 300. So, bam. So basically, I just gained. I spent 160. He spent 300. I still have my 160 here. So right now, the only thing he can field is a Stuart. Whereas, obviously, I've spent a lot on infantry, but. And this time, I'm trying to pick my teammate to come over here and cap the flag. Which he is not really going to go over there and do. But anyways. We've got the middle, so we're not doing too bad. Looks like score is about to be even here. I went ahead and taken front cover. I've got guys over here. I went and bought the Homeland Fury. So I bought the SSD as my first buy, and then my second buy was the Homeland Fury. The Homeland Fury is going to give you 4 machine gunners. Boom. And it's going to give you 4 recruits. So really the recruits aren't anything great, but it's going to give you 4 machine gunners. I mean, he's not getting through this swarm of fire right here. Swing over here. Grab dynamite over here. Unfortunately, I don't think I get this. But I'm keeping my eye on... You always want to keep your eye on your map, your mini-map here. Oh, I just mistimed it. Unfortunately, I did get the... Oh, and I have a feeling my teammate's going to have a major problem with this croc here, probably. Looks like the mortar's out. So let's talk about the mortar. We'll also talk about the fact that I did get a 20 mil. So I got the 20 mil. Really, it's just something that's really also going to kill infantry. I know I'm going to have to help my teammate, unfortunately, so that's why I went with basically 2 infantry killers. I'm confident I can hold this point really without a tank, to be honest with you, at this point, just based on the skill of the opponent I've seen. But I do want to keep that 20 mil. Wow. Oh, that wasn't me. That was over here. Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on over here? Oh, these poor souls. .47 mil AT gun? No. Don't get that. If you're going to go AT gun, go with the 75 mil. Reason why is the penetration on it is really good. At 70 range, you got 80 penetration, which is very, very good, by the way. 120, you have 60 penetration. 47 mil, no. You can't penetrate the croc. And that was about 70, 60 range, actually. I can't really tell, but... So my teammate was complaining. He was like, I don't know what to do, man. I was like, dude, just buy a Chinu, and all your worries will be done. So let's get into tanks. We talked about the Hago. If you have to escalate from there without going to the Chinu already, so the Hago's 160, your next tank buy that can counter like Stuarts, Panzer J's, you know, even Cromwell's to an extent, but definitely like a Crusader tank, or any kind of those light medium tanks that UK can field. Definitely, like I said, Stuarts. Definitely go with the Chihi. 300 MP, got 50 frontal armor, 50 turn armor, so pretty decent armor. The gun's not too bad either. And that's only 300 MP. That's the same thing as a Stuart, so same price. If you can afford it though, save 100 MP and get the Chinu, because the Chinu is just gonna Shrek some Shermans. Sherman's got no chance. I mean, it does have a chance, especially if you get flanked by the Stuart. That's my fault. I didn't see him coming here. That's the Stuart that got repaired. My 20 mil does take it out though. As a new player, he doesn't even know what to do, how to win, how to hold his flag. He doesn't know what to do at all. So the last thing you expect a new player to do is ping something for you, even after you describe to him in full-length detail in chat. But don't ever rely on that happening. So that was my fault for not seeing that. So at this point, I know we've got a game on our hands here. I guess my fourth hero point buy was that my fourth one? I went SSD, Homeland Fury, 3. Huh? I wonder what. Okay, yeah. So then I went the mortar. So yeah, I've got 4 points left. 150 millimeter mortar, small map. Get the 150 millimeter mortar, guys. This thing is just unstoppable. It is just. It just rips apart infantry. Let's put it that way. Oh wow, it is storming at my house here. I don't know if you guys hear that. Uh-oh, I saw this. This is going to be trouble here. Any type of Bofors type gun with a new player, they don't understand how these things work. And And this Kinu's got no chance against this thing. No chance. So I repositioned the mortar. I'm actually trying to put it around this area here so I can shell that that Bofors. Also, I wasn't too confident in how long this mortar is going to take, and at this point we're about to be losing again. So I went ahead and bought the self-propelled Chiha 120. I typically don't buy this tank just because it is it's artillery, and plus I already had artillery in a sense. Typically I would buy the Bonsai, and the Bonsai is going to give you 2 Chiha 47s plus 2+ squads of paratroopers, which I think is a much better value buy. It gives you armor, but it also gives you infantry, whereas this just gives you artillery, which really doesn't do a great job in taking out really anything except for something like this and a placement like this. So as Japan, I'd suggest you probably go with the Bonsai, or you could even go with the radio operator if you needed to deal with something even heavier and you're not winning the early game, for example. Let's follow this Greyhound. Props. Gotta give him props for that. That was a great move there. Boom! What got that? Oh, RPG right here. RPG. So, great move by Onion there. Opinionated Onion. Great move with the Greyhound. Just rushed the Greyhound in. Took out my Shi'a 120. I made a mistake. I had no defenses for it. I had no AT rifle. I had no tank. I had the 20 mil, but the 20 mil is way over here, and wasn't able to swing over. Also, I think it's damaged. The gun's damaged. You can tell it's red here, and it's also not firing. Oh, look at the gun. Yeah, you can tell there too. So it looks like he did buy the he bought the Bonsai. So good for him. Unfortunately, he probably doesn't realize it comes with all these extra guys. So that's almost 10. That's like 10 guys there, plus all these guys. It's like 20 plus guys. So that's a lot of freaking guys. Oh, I thought I crashed there. I was about to say, Jesus, because I've had a lot of problems with audio and video lately. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get some of the content I want out. So I was about to be a little pissed there. So I went ahead and shreked this Sherman. Actually, that was a Sherman 76 too, so that's a bad tank to lose. That's I think a 600 MP tank. That's just not something you really want to lose. Shrek the Sherman. I can clean up with the Hago. I can also follow up with SSD, which is a little late. Honestly, I'll tell you that. It's probably a bad buy there. I guess I could have went with Kamikazes. But at the same time, Kamikazes are going to CP cap you quite a bit. It's the only downside to them. Don't ever go with 2 Kamikaze squads. Is you're really just going to have too much CP used if you need it. And so that SSD was kind of a fail, but... Oh, miss. Boom. Yup, got him. Got him, coach. Yeah, so his mistake is he was DCing this. Tank charging at you, I tend to advise to let the AI shoot. You should right click. You probably have a better result there. Hago just putting in that work. And we need it too, because my teammates still can't get his lag, so I know I've got to cap this. And I've got about 330 MP. The only problem is I have spent all my hero points. I do have my mortar that's getting worked on though, so thankfully that Greyhound did not take this out. That would have been unfortunate if he did take that out. Stuart's coming. I'm going to move this out of the way. These guys are just getting a lot of fire coming in on them. A lot of fire. Oh, let's see what's going on over here, guys. Yeah, so both are still going at it. I think my mortar's now firing, though. And it is. Ooh, my Hago got tracked. Went ahead and bought paratroopers. Gonna go ahead and mine the middle, just cause. Why not? I know I'm moving around quite a bit, but I don't want to miss anything for you guys. Can't be hard doing on a replay, I'll be honest with you. Wow, he shot him right through this like window thing here. Just right through here. Oh, I wonder what that is. See, it's got 200mm artillery, but that looked like a howitzer from somewhere. Huh. Unless that really was just my mortar. Huh, interesting. Anyways, went with another Chinu. I know I can counter anything they're going to bring out at this point. Because I've seen Crocs. Yeah, I've seen tanks. I mean, the guy on this side has brought Crocs too, I believe. Actually, he may not, but I have no faith that he'll buy anything good. I mean, I've really not played a whole lot on this side. I've been really dealing a lot with the middle and then trying to help my teammate as well. So, Chinu is definitely something I'm going to go with. Oh wow, there comes that rocket. I just wouldn't suggest that. The rocket, to be honest with you guys, I mean, it's 5 special points. I just think you could use it wiser. I think the rocket, I'm just not a big fan of it. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it. Because it kind of does the same job as some of these other ones, like the mortar. Like, I'd rather just have the mortar. The rocket will take out heavier vehicles, so I guess that's a plus. But the reload rate on it is just... I think you can win easier other ways, if that makes sense. Ooh, looks like we got a Chaffee over here. Direct control. Boom. Main gun. Chaffee's got... doesn't really have a great chance against the Chinu at range. Speaking of the Chinu, just how best to use it, guys. It doesn't have the greatest armor. I'm not going to say it's got a lot of armor. It's only 50 front, 50 turret, 30 side, 30 turret side. But it's got a great gun for its price points. That's why a lot of people like it. Look at that 90mm penetration at 70 range. Everyone says how good the 75mm AT gun for the Japanese faction is. Well, the Chinu actually has a better penetration at 70 range than that gun. So just to give you an idea how good that gun is. At this point, I just want to eliminate his tanks. And also just get rid of this pesky AT gun that shoots me. It's a M3, I believe. Yeah, so there's another mistake. If you're shooting with a 37mm AT gun against a Chinu or a heavy tank like that, it's just don't do that. It makes no sense. Because you're going to rebuild your position and then the opponent will just HE it and destroy your AT gun. Go ahead and hold fire on it and use it for another day. I mean, there's really no point in buying it, but oh, goodness gracious, what was that? Oh, I saw these guys sneaking up. And, well, they're not sneaking up anymore. Oh, God. Oh, just, what in the... And that's why we love Men of War, because things like that happen. That's so awesome. This thing's killed 35 infantry. I feel like it hasn't even been doing that well. And apparently it's got one... it had one tank kill, too. I don't really know what it killed. Maybe like a truck over there or something like that. Vehicle kill, I guess I should say. So thankfully that Bofors was decrewed. Probably damaged gun, too. Feeling pretty good now. We got our point. This guy's finally got his point back. I told him to get a Chinu. He did. So he's fighting it. He's at too close of a range, though. He'd want to bring his Chinu back here. Also, he's got... Ooh, am I going to get the flank on this? Ooh, here we go. Hago time. DC again. He's DCing. Wouldn't do that. No, right click. Boom! How do you like that? Yeah, so anyways. Yeah. Should have right-clicked. Right-click would have probably got it. Hell, what he should have done is... could have almost went with this 50 cal. This 50 cal would have done a really good job, too. But, he would have just had to select that down here. But really, I would just really right-clicked on my main gun there. So looks like Luna is going to bring over his Sherman. You know, he obviously is not confident taking his point back. And so I'm going to fight that back. I tried to hide the Hago behind that house. Didn't really work, but I'm going to fight it back with this here. Keep it at range. This guy's side turned. Actually didn't hit it. I hit the Stewart. Does a good job there. Sides to expose though. He's tracked now, and now he's basically fucked. Boom. Done. Dunzo. 8 infantry kills, 4 vehicle kills. Stuart's back up. Remember, guys, you want to kill those tanks if they're they show as basically being white or silver. And you want to kill it because it's not dead yet. It's hull damage. It's going to be repaired. So, basically do that. I've brought, oh, it looks like he is capping this back, but I decapped it with a few guys here. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and get that W. It was a pretty fun game, to be honest with you. Had some swings back and forth. And yeah, hopefully you guys got a little bit better insight on the Japanese faction. As far as tanks I'd avoid the Hoai. The Cheeto you can definitely get. It's a great tank, but it can be a little expensive for what it does. It's 800 MP. You can fight the heavier tanks if you're in a team game with the Chibri, so that's actually a pretty good tank, but it is expensive as crap. And it looks like it stopped me from here. They don't really have any tank destroyers. These are more like self-propelled guns. They do have like the Honi 3. I'd avoid really any of their tank destroyers because they don't really destroy tanks. They really don't do shit, to be honest with you. They're horrible. I'd avoid them at all costs. I would stick to infantry with your hero points, the 150 millimeter mortar, or the bonsai charge. You can go with the SSD if you want, or you can go kamikazes. You want to do a little more sneaking. The kamikazes will take out a big tank later in the game, so they're really great to use. They do CP cap you, so be careful with that. And then, like I said, if you had to take out heavier tanks, you weren't really winning the early mid-game, and you weren't really far ahead, or you didn't keep the game light, I should say, where your opponent could bring out like a big tank like a Jumbo 76. In this case, they actually could have, because Luna doesn't know you can buy hero points, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll learn that. I definitely think that DMS needs to make that more apparent to new players, because half new players don't even know you could buy those units. But let's say that came out, then you definitely would probably want to go with the radio up. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that game. A little insight into the Japan faction, and kind of how best to use them, what they're good at. Definitely didn't touch on everything. Certainly, there's a lot of different strategies you can go with. The 75mm AA is actually a really good weapon. I'm not a big fan of that in because just that map, just because of the way it's set up. It's a much better gun if you have it in open space, and mix that with like a 20 mil or something like that. Then you should be golden. Take care, guys. Welcome, guys. Men of War